It is 4:00 p.m. We'll call the meeting of the Delphi Redevelopment Commission to order September 4th, 4:00 p.m. Introductions, please. Christina, would you start?
Christina Langsdorf, member of many things, and Delphi resident.
Jenny Myers, council member. Member of a couple of committees.
Buster Kingery and president, pro tem council, vice president of this, and a lot of other crap to go along with it, so. There you go.
Started in trying.
Yeah, thanks.
Cameron Yates, with proud city of Delphi there.
Anita Whirling, proud past mayor. And mayor appointee to the Delphi Redevelopment Commission, serving as president.
I'm Mike Tetrell, also a mayor appointee, I think. Yes. Okay, day job is executive director of Wabash and Erie Canal Park. And I've been here in this group this year, right, so far. Yep.
Shannon Telfer with the Carroll County Economic Development.
Very good, thank you. So you have the minutes of our last meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the meeting from the July 21st meeting.
I'll second.
Any discussion, additions, corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye, motion carries. Next is a review of the financial status, and Shannon, would you please take us through that?
Nothing changed since July. The account balance for the Delphi Redevelopment Commission is $184,364.10. And there weren't any invoices to be approved for this one.
Any questions for Shannon?
I'm just glad we got money.
Yeah, really.
So it's like, painting there, Delphi fifth district.
Yeah, really.
The one that they wrote.
Wondered, of course, we lost value and
Yeah.
one of the other sense. And let's see. Well, that we got some things. All right, is there a motion to approve the financial report?
So moved.
Second,
I'll second.
any additional questions for Shannon? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And I'm an aye, motion carries. Discussion of the 2026 annual budget, and do we have a draft of that?
I didn't know if you wanted to discuss it this evening or wait and decide for next month. I didn't prepare.
We need to present that to the city council at their November 3rd meeting, correct? Okay, yeah, I can, with consensus from the board, I can draft a budget for next year and present it at our next meeting, which needs to be whenever Matt actually is available to meet with us, and probably either yet this month or in October, right, correct?
Which was essentially just filling in the gaps from what you previously
It
discussed
is.
to me. All right, so.
It is, but we may have some changes of things that, I mean, we can get more specific, I hope, on some things related to future projects.
I'm okay if you want to do the budget.
Okay,
You want to present? Yeah, present it.
I will send that out then, and we'll review it at our either late September or October meeting. And okay, the next thing I think is the review the TIF eligible assessed value changes from Baker Tilly. Has this gone out to the whole commission? So you've had a chance to look at it. I think the there are some changes on the positive side and a change on the negative side. Deal with the negative first, and that, the big one is, a change in the value for the Andersons, and that is in the, 418 or 218 allocation area, the northeast allocation area. Which is unfortunate, that's, that's, the area that we hope to do projects in, and it will not enable us to build up value as quickly as we might have hoped. So but it's the result of the damage that occurred to grain bin, which they had to then move, and so that the value of that equipment and would have been considered buildings, basically, and so those changed the value of the assessed value of the property. And the positive changes are mostly due to residential development and are perhaps a little bit of commercial development in the Delphi West or whatever we're calling it, from the hardware building. Any questions on those changes?
You would need to change that, the language for Burnbrae Farms. Or is that,
That's its TIF allocation,
that's,
that
So-
it is, yeah, so we don't change
Title of
that,
it.
it's just, that's the title of it.
okay,
So,
okay,
I mean, we know that includes Fallon Estates and the other property from, whatever age, MGH or MBH.
MGH.
But the TIF area is called Burnbrae.
I have a question. If someone moves from a homestead exemption to a to not having homestead exemption, would that put us in a growth category? Because my name is on this piece of paper. And I'm trying to figure out why.
Yes, I think it probably would.
It's the second one on from the top. And
Oh,
they had us exempt, they had us homesteaded, and we're not homesteaded on Front Street. And so I wouldn't explain that. And that's, I guess, how we ended up on the sheet.
I guess it is. And thank you
Okay.
so much for that input.
Well, anything I can do.
Yeah.
so is that parcel in this district here then?
That parcel is in the Delphi General
Okay,
Commercial,
so it's not in the Front Street,
right, it's the Delphi.
No, sorry, it's on Front Street, but it's not.
okay,
Yeah, it's,
so
yeah,
they
it's
go
the,
across the street.
right, and this would be the, mostly the Burnbrae, or not Burnbrae, the, Front Street for the interurban. But that Front Street allocation area is specific to the lots, that it's called Front Street. Any other questions? And thank you again, Kristen.
Yes, you didn't. That's all I can do for Delphi.
It seemed to keep hold of my agenda here, so hang on a second, while we get back to it. Okay, so we've gone through the TIF eligible assessed value changes. And then the next is schedule and plan for the DRC annual public meeting, inviting all taxing units to discuss our budget. The long-term plans for each of the allocation areas and the impact of each allocation area on the overlapping taxing units. And for that, we will be involving Baker Tilly to help pull together those some of that information. And then also in the budget, we'll be highlighting some of the plans that we would have for each of the allocation areas, if there are any specific plans. And the schedule for that, I guess that still is whenever we can coordinate with Matt. Has he given you potential dates yet?
No, I need to
Bug him again, yeah. Okay, also in front of you is, that's relevant to that, is the, proposed scope to prepare the TIF updates. And, full confession, I did go ahead and, sign this since it was time sensitive. But if I could have a motion to accept the, scope of work and, or from Baker Tilly, that amount. If I can find it quickly, or if you can, Shannon.
I had one.
Yeah, apologize.
Oh, yes, okay. And so I have it.
Mhm.
Just need to find the paper. I believe this is. I think it's just based on their fee schedule, isn't it? So. Which is the fee schedule that we've looked at and approved, before. So the scope of work is. Basically to, to look at the different taxing units that we have, the TIF areas. And help us to, look at those allocation units, what they have historically done, what they're projected to be. And then review the budget areas with us. So is there a motion to approve that scope?
Yeah, just thought that, that's how they did.
So, I had Christina on making the motion
I'll say.
and Denny. All those, any discussion on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And I am an aye, motion carries. Okay, project update.
And he will present that at the November council meeting, or will it be?
We will first have a meeting with him and our, board to, go over, the plans basically. And then presumably he will be at the November meeting.
And actually, he doesn't need to present that to the city council, what you're presenting to the city council and on November 3rd is our 2026 budget.
Okay,
Matt will be here to present to our overlapping taxing units.
and that will be at the meeting.
That's supposed to be at the joint meeting, right?
Does it, I can't remember if it needs to be a joint meeting. I thought it could be a joint meeting if it needs to be, but according to the guidelines, I think it was just a, it's a public meeting.
It's a public meeting, it's just it's not a public hearing, it's a public meeting.
Correct.
Yep.
And inviting the library, schools,
So it's
the
the
city.
underlying taxing.
Right, so it would be, I guess, the city, yes.
But they are not required to attend. Correct. So it would be an invitation. But it will be a public hearing with those underlying taxing units, invited to attend. And somebody correct me if that's wrong. Please. Okay, and that would be, in October.
Or it could be November, it doesn't really, I don't think that really
So
matters.
it doesn't have to be before the November 3rd. But then is there another, meeting that we have to present to council or anything of that sort, or is it just the budget that we're presenting? Good. So the budget on November 3rd.
Jim did last year, was in November, I believe. For the budget.
Yeah. And then. But we do have to file information with the state, and that would be Julia.
Right, I give that to Julie.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm trying to get this in my head. What was to say?
Lots of things changed.
Yes, there were some changes that occurred at the state, and no doubt there will be more.
I have a question. So are we talking about two separate meetings and one for us to look through the budget before the presented, and then the second one with the overlaying?
Yes.
Two separate items and two
Yeah,
separate meetings.
Okay. Alright. They converged into one for a second, but they're back into two. Thank you.
Well, we could have.
And they could be, very well be the
Could be
same
one
meeting.
meeting.
Oh, well.
But they're just two separate.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the public portion of it would just be,
Okay.
and then we may have need to do something else other than that as well. Okay, is that clear as mud to everyone?
Sure.
Got it.
Okay, that is to me as well. I think we're ready for, project. I'm sorry,
Did we want to go ahead and set the dates while we're on the topic of it?
I think we have to, we get some dates from Beverly.
We could see when Spencer's available, we
Yeah.
could shoot that to Matt, because I know your schedule's kind of funky with.
Okay. Anything other than 5 to 3? 5 PM to 3 AM, unless you guys wanna go out after 3 AM, that's fine. I'm just saying.
Yeah, 3 AM.
Sure. 2:30. Why not?
4:30 is
Not
when I
breakfast
get up.
ready.
So I can
September
be-
15th is a no-go, October 22nd and 23rd is definitely a no-go as well.
You got those?
I will be in French Lake
Potentially, yeah.
for the idea summit.
Generally, Mondays work best for me, but if we have to do Tuesdays, that's fine as well, those are my normal days off.
We'll be in Fort
But
Wayne,
that, you guys, the board can still meet, that is.
September 30th through October 1.
Third or second,
Third.
is that whole, basically that whole week?
What is that?
Starting September 30th.
I think
So-
it's to the third.
Oh, and I won't be here the 30th either, sorry,
September.
I'll be back
October.
in time for the council meeting on the 3rd.
or the 22nd.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do that.
Well,
October or September?
September 22nd and then September 30th, I won't be here.
Yeah, no, I shouldn't.
Okay,
I
Shannon.
probably won't be organized by then anyway, so, but we're looking into October.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we're ready for project updates, and Jonathan, would you introduce your intern? James, I think we all met you, but please,
Yeah,
introduce.
well, first, James Wells is the new executive director for Carroll County Economic Development Corporation. I will remain engaged, RJL will continue to help with transition, over the next couple of months. Our contract, I think it runs through the end of February, so we'll be here, helping James get everything underneath his feet, so, glad to have him here and start transitioning that role. Also with me is Preston Summers. He's a senior at Carmel High School. He's interning with us at RJL, or specifically with our department. He's interested in urban planning and design. And so getting him exposed to all facets of planning, both from the community level, consultant level, working in planning departments and just kind of getting a broad experience. So got him with me today. We were talking a lot about Project 218 when we got here, so, which is what I'm here to talk about tonight, so. Made some progress on Project 218, we do have Wildcat resources done, I've got a copy ready for the mayor to sign to accept the easement. Kirkhoff Wright, Andersons and Carroll White REMC, we are negotiating, with each of those now, various terms, the Andersons, Anita, myself and James, walked that property with their operations team the other day. Generally, they don't have any concerns about the easement. The one thing that they did express was concerns about the cob piles they have towards the south end of the property. They want to make sure that those are not, in danger of, a spark or something that might ignite those. They had asked if it was possible to move the easement, that we do that, but if it's not possible, they're willing to work with us and just ensure that those are protected. Anita and I've talked, James and I've talked as well. I think there's ways that we can ensure, put controls in place in a contract with a contractor that would be agreeable to the Andersons that would help protect those cob piles. So, similar to what we would do if we were working along a railroad or working along a NIPSCO line, put some protections in there that certain fire protection is in place, maybe even some physical barriers to prevent any sparks from getting over into the cob piles.
And there's a reason for that. They've had two very large,
That's what they said, yeah.
it's been a while, but I'm sure they don't want to repeat.
They don't want to repeat it, no.
Yeah, so I understand their concern.
Yeah, but they, great great conversation. They understand the need, they understand the intent. So they're very much willing to work with us. I have sent the draft agreement and the easement document, in electronic form to them so they can have their attorneys start to go through and redline anything that they, want to sit back for consideration. Carol White, REMC.
Jonathan, could I just add something to
Yeah.
that? So when we did meet with the people from the Andersons and they recommended that, we change the route slightly. They thought that they owned the parcel.
Yeah.
That was adjacent and we were pretty sure that it belonged to the Mears and checking it does. And so, the plan is to go back to them with the proposal that, we just put language in and, that when we get to the construction phase, there will be protection of the pile. And that should make, the other issue, of course, would be that we can't proceed with an engineering study unless we have the final route.
Right.
Or not the engineering study, but the
Engineering plans.
PER, the preliminary engineering report, so that we can get design underway, so. Which we hope to do, as part of our budget, so.
Yeah, and they were agreeable to they understand the intent, they understand the purpose, so, they generally didn't have any concerns. They actually have a guy on site that, can't remember what his nickname was, Brownie, yeah. He knows where everything is on that site, he was very helpful and, hey, we wanna stay away from this area because there's a 2-inch water line, or we wanna stay away from here because there's a cable, so. Very, very knowledgeable, it'll be good to get him connected with the engineer so that he can help identify where those lines are. Carol White, REMC, we're just confirming the depth of the sewer in that location. We hadn't done that yet, just because we don't have, we didn't know where we were going with the Andersons piece, if we were gonna have to move that, and would that change any of the depth of the sewer in that location? So we're still working on that. The two that we've not heard from yet, and I still need to go door knock, is Garrison and Watson Yurkus. I know, Mary, you had said you've got connection with them or have worked with them in the past, so I was gonna see if you and I might be able to go out there at some point.
Sure.
And have some conversation with them. So we're working through each of those pieces. I did mention to Anita, I would recommend before your next meeting, and it could be literally right before your next meeting, that we have an executive session under section 5-14-1.5-6.1 B2D regarding real property transactions. The reason I say it is there's some terms that we may need to discuss that we should really discuss in private. Obviously, you can't make any decisions back there in an executive session, but it would allow us to have some open conversation without getting that out into the broader public. And then we could come back here and have some further conversation, and then you could make a decision from that point in the public meeting. But I think it would be good to have some of those terms and conditions discussed under an executive session. So that could be, if your next meeting's at 4 PM on a Thursday, we could meet at 3 PM on Thursday. And then you could roll right into your public meeting after that, but that would be my recommendation. By then, we will have made contact with and be entered into negotiations with each property owner and should have enough information to come back here and actually make recommendations.
Any questions for John? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. And I'll stick around because I've got one for you to sign, just to accept these there.
Thank you.
Mayor, do you have updates for us?
Couple quick updates for Front Street. This week they're kind of going through a punch list on Front Street, just kind of looking at some things that need tidying up before the paving crews arrive on the 9th. The 9th to the 12th is scheduled for milling, patching, and then putting the surface down and pulling the barricades. So we're gonna tie in this project with Market Street, which is a current CCMG project that we have that's ongoing. So the same paving crew that's gonna be doing CCMG 2025-1 is gonna pave both projects. So exciting for a lot of barricades to be pulled from the city. That's caused a little bit of chaos this summer with festivals and stuff. But after that, Front Street will be open and we're off to the races for additional parking and a beautiful road and obviously a beautiful structure. Bowen Estates, we now have 8 active permits. 5 have received their occupancy permit. That means that they are now on the market for sale. 1 has completely sold. I'm told there was possibly 3 that were pre-sales. That's, I'm not sure if that's the one that's active or not, but they are up and running, and it's good to see that 1 of them has sold. That's a good sign that there's interest and they're on the market and people are looking at them. So we did discuss, we had a meeting last week about changing the concept plan for phases 2, 3, and 4. We'll be putting that out, the actual plan itself, to the public, and hopefully next month after we finalize some engineering with Kimley Horn. But the goal with that was to get a quicker ingress egress from the backside of Raleigh instead of waiting until phase 3 or 4, getting that in sooner. And that will be a huge difference for Riley Meadows now, because we've had a lot of instances where if there's a storm and a tree across the road with a wire, it's nobody's getting out and nobody's getting in, which is, to me, it was a huge concern for first responders. And I got to live that last February actually. So exciting news, and been fun working through that project with the developers, and Marcus is taking a good look at what the scope is, right? What the needed housing market and what we need to do moving forward. So been a lot of fun with that, and that's all I have for the projects that's really getting ready to finalize. So that's a busy summer.
Who's the contractor on the resurfacing for Front Street and for the
Reese and Riley.
Redevelopment?
Yep.
Okay.
They went through Market Street very quickly.
Yes, it is.
And it looks amazing. They've got the drives in now, they've got the curb and sidewalk and drainage, and they rented a very large piece of equipment that I thought was very impressive. It's a great big grinder with that, the city of Delphi below us is the limestone. And we've met challenges on this side of town with several projects, and they obviously have got word of that. So this machine was a blessing. So it's exciting to see that that'll be finished up here real soon. And then we're already diving into 2026-1 for community crossings, which the state has a lot of changes. Like everything else, right? So there are no longer 2 calls for a year, fiscal year. There's going to be 1. So we're diving into our Phaser ratings and looking where we're going to go next. And we got plenty of room for improvement on some roads that showed on our Phaser, and that was a great thing to put in place because it shows the true need and where it's needed. So gonna look forward to another busy summer next year for construction. So. But I can't be more excited than when the gates get pulled from Front Street, especially after Bacon Fest.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a quick question here. In Bowen Estates, is that temporary or the service road? Is that gonna be a permanent road?
It will not. That will stay a construction road, the duration of phases, each phase. The permanent ingress egress will be disclosed once we finalize our engineering plans for phase 2. So, yeah, but it'll be accessible to construction crews, and they've said they're not gonna barricade it up to where, so if it was needed, it could still be used, but that will not be the permanent ingress egress. So.
Thank you. Any other business? Questions? One last motion.
Motion to adjourn?
Yes.
I'll second that.
That's the slowest I've ever heard that. It's
I
usually the
know.
quickest, one last motion, it's gone, it's
All
out.
those in favor, signify with your, signify by saying aye.
Uh,
Motion carries. Thank you all.